It's Alabama's Morning News. I'm JT. As you know, Clay Travis and Buck Sexton come on the air here every day at 11 a.m. and stay till 2 p.m. And Clay Travis lives in Franklin, Tennessee, right outside of Nashville. He also has kids, and he's also involved in the community there, including the school system. And recently, he went into a school board meeting to talk about the mask, recommendations, mandates that are happening now across this country and in his own community. Clay Travis, very outspoken here against the school district telling the kids that they got to wear masks.
Good evening. I'm Clay Travis. I have two kids in Williamson County Public Schools, fifth grader and a first grader, and you all should be ashamed of the choices that you are about to make. We teach our kids that facts matter. That's why they go to school. The facts are these: masks don't work. There isn't a single scientific data that has ever proven that masks work. Also, let's talk about risk analysis, which is the key. I feel bad for all these people walking around in masks, engaging in cosmetic theater, thinking that they are making a difference against COVID. They aren't. Here's the truth. Our kids, under 25-year-old, 1 in a million chance that they are going to die of COVID. They are more likely to be struck by lightning. They are more likely to be struck by lightning. They are more likely to die of the seasonal flu. Have any of you ever mandated masks for the seasonal flu? Well, shame on you, because every kid in Williamson County schools has been under more danger from the seasonal flu every year than they are for COVID. I would tell every parent here, don't let your kids wear masks.
Well, there he goes, leaving the room like Elvis. He did everything but drop the mic. Quentin Brogdon joins us now as a fellow with the International Academy of Trial Lawyers. Excuse me. Quentin, welcome back in. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning, JT in Alabama.
Boy, I'll tell you what, that is not the only backlash that school districts are feeling. This is going on across our country right now. And parents and folks are as passionate on both sides about this. Parents are angry that their kids are not wearing masks because they don't want their kids sick. Other parents in the same districts are angry that they're being forced to wear these masks. I've got a granddaughter that's 5 years old who has to wear a mask every day now in kindergarten for 6-7 hours a day. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, my gosh. I mean, really? Is this where we're at here? In Texas and Florida, you know, see where the governors are. No mandates here. School districts in those states defying that, saying, oh, yeah, here we go. We're going to put the mask on these kids. So as a fellow with the International Academy of Trial Lawyers, Quentin, where do you think this is going to end up here? Because it's not calming down anytime soon.
Well, I would not want to be running a school district right now. They're kind of in a no-win situation. I think you captured it pretty well. There are strong feelings on both sides of this issue. And so it's a power contest, really, between these local authorities and the governors of many states who have stepped forward and said, well, you can't mandate masks. In some districts, for instance, in my home state of Texas, are openly defying that. And the question is, you know, this will have to play out in courtrooms. It already has started to, where judges are having to adjudicate who has superior authority here, the local health authorities and school authorities, or the governors of these states. And it really is case by case. In my state, for example, our governor, we made him long ago very weak on purpose, not our specific governor, but we made the position weak in relation to the legislature quite purposefully. And every state's a little different. So it's going to be playing out over these coming months. And I wouldn't want to be running the school board right now.
You know, my brother-in-law is a superintendent, Tuscaloosa City Schools here, and they're going to do the same thing that the school district that I live in, Hoover City Schools, are doing, and that's the mask mandate for 30 days. And let's reassess and see what happens with the numbers. Is that going to help? Was it a good thing to do or not? And then they'll make another decision down the road. But you touched on the battles that are taking place between, you know, do we believe the healthcare professionals to be the ones to make the decision, or do we believe the government to do that? Well, there's another dichotomy that's going on, and that's what about whatever decision is made and the parents that are involved in this? Who gets to ultimately make the decision for my child, me or the school district or the medical people, whoever comes up with the policies? I mean, does it stop there and we all have to march in line like sheep and follow the dictate on whatever decision's made, even by the court system? I know there's vaccine cards you got to get billed out by your pediatrician to enter schools for polio and mumps and measles and that kind of thing. Are we headed there with this?
Well, that's what some who are in opposition to these mandates are saying. And there's a long history, frankly, of us having to do things we don't necessarily want to do. And the question is, where do we draw the line? We have a once-in-a-century pandemic. The proponents of these mandates say our hospitals are filling up, so we have to do something, and we have to do something like this. The opponents, on the other hand, say this is a right to privacy issue. This is a decisional issue that we should make on behalf of our children. There's nothing wrong necessarily with encouraging it, but mandating it is a step too far. And that's what's playing out. And, of course, the politicians in the mix are catching the different whiffs of these fights, and some cynically would say, for their own purposes, on some occasions at least, are taking positions to garner favor with their constituents because, after all, these are politicians.
Right.
And then you have judges who are having to adjudicate this, and we're in some murky legal territory, at least with respect to some of these issues and exactly where the authority is parsed out.
Yeah, it's going to be a battle, no doubt. And I'm afraid you're right. This could end up in state Supreme Courts and maybe even the U.S. Supreme Court at some point over who's got the authority to do what and tell us what to do. All right, Quinn, thank you so much.